Hello everybody and welcome to Grassroots Vegan. I'm David Kelly. So Kat from Vegas Fruity asked me what my thoughts were on juicing and do I juice? And the answer to that question is no, I don't juice. I don't have anything against juicing. In fact, I own a Breville, and I got into juicing in the beginning when I bought the Breville about over a year ago. But the juices I made were really horrific, and the mess afterwards was, too much trouble cleaning up. I just didn't enjoy it. So and I know that I could have learned how to make juices that tasted better, and there's a little bit of trial and error that goes along with that. And probably buying a book on juicing would have helped, but I just didn't feel like getting into all of that. So I dropped it. And now my Breville is covered in a lot of dust. And I'd have to say that I never have, and I don't plan to in the future, to ever juice for therapeutic reasons, meaning that I don't plan on doing any kind of juice fasting or juice cleansing or some kind of juice regimen to help with some kind of healing or anything like that. Not that I don't believe that there isn't a place for that kind of thing. In fact, I think of Dave, the raw food trucker. I don't know if you've ever heard of him before, but he, a number of years ago, was about over 400 pounds. He had every disease under the sun. He had heart disease, he had diabetes 2, he had stage 2 colon cancer, his kidneys were failing, he was on death's doors, and it was through juicing that he saved his own life, literally. And so now, to this day, this is what he is really in, and what he is campaigning. It's his whole life. Juicing is everything for him, and understandably so. I mean, he wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for juicing. So there are amazing stories like that as a result of juicing. But for me, what's more important is if you're not coming to this lifestyle, the vegan lifestyle, with serious health issues, then I encourage finding a more balanced and a more practical approach to being a healthy vegan. And what that is for me, and I've said this a million times over, and I'll say it again, it is the fruits, like these clementines. That's dessert for me, baby. It is the vegetables, like this lovely kale. Now, I could juice that kale, but I would rather put it in a smoothie. If I'm going to process this kale, it's going into a smoothie. Or you can steam it. I do that with a lot of my vegetables as well. And the starches, the good old reliable spud. It's not as pretty as the orange, but it is reliable. So, I mean, these clementines will be out of season in no time, but I can always get myself a spud. To have a good balance of those three food groups in your life, for me, is far more important than doing a series of juice feasting or fasting or cleanses or whatever. But then if you want to include juices as well on top of that, I think that's great. In fact, I do drink juices at least once a week. But what I do is I go to my favorite organic juice bar, Pharmacia, that's spelled with an F. And in fact, I'll leave a link down below to their store here in Toronto. They make amazing juices. I couldn't even come close to what they do. And not only that, I really enjoy just going out and going there and having a juice. The owner, he's extremely friendly. He's very passionate about what he does and what he believes in. I don't believe in everything he believes in, but we get into some pretty interesting discussions. In fact, today we were talking, oddly enough, about magic mushrooms and peyote buttons and other kinds of psychedelics, which I don't do, but I have to admit, I do have a little bit of a history here. So, the 70s were crazy times. But anyhow, and also, whenever I'm there, it never fails. Somebody comes in and a conversation gets going. And so I've met a lot of interesting people. And what's kind of funny is, in many cases, the people that come in for a juice or a smoothie, and he also he's got the superfood stuff happening there as well too. You meet I've seen people come in that were hungover from the night before, and they're getting some kind of special concoction made to deal with their hangover. So yeah, it's an interesting place to go. So there's the social dynamic as well. But for me, having a juice, I really love a well-made juice. I really love, and it's kind of like, when I was drinking vintage wines, I used to like cognacs, and to have a really fine cognac was a special occasion. And so for me, that's kind of like what juicing is today as a high-carb, low-fat vegan. It's my cognac of this lifestyle. And so I really do look forward to it. But that's as far as it goes for me. I don't really take it any further than that. But I do, I am open to the possibility of using juices for therapeutic reasons. And I think there's definite potential there. And certainly there's some remarkable stories of people who've used juices to heal. So I have an open mind about it. But for me personally, it's a recreational drink. I enjoy it, and it's highly nutritious. What do you think about juicing? If you have your own angle on it, I appreciate hearing from you. Leave your comments below. And don't be afraid to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Take care. Yeah, yeah. Not bad for old fart.